Once upon a time, in a small town, there was a woman named Joy. Joy lived in a big, beautiful house with tall windows and lovely curtains. She had everything she wanted: pretty dresses, tasty food, and a lot of toys. But Joy felt lonely. She had no friends to share her joy with. Every day she looked out of her window, hoping to find someone who would make her heart happy. One sunny morning, Joy saw a strange man sitting under the tree across the street. He was dressed in torn clothes and looked tired. His hair was messy and his shoes were old. He had a small cup in his hand and people were putting coins in it. Joy was curious. Who is he? She wondered. Joy decided to watch the man every day. She noticed that he always smiled at everyone, even when he had very little. His smile was kind and warm, like a ray of sunshine. One day, she waved at him from her window. To her surprise, he waved back and smiled. Joy felt a tiny flutter in her heart. The next day, Joy took a coin from her piggy bank and ran outside. She walked up to the man and dropped the coin into his cup. "Thank you, kind lady," he said with a gentle smile. His voice was soft, like a rustling leaves. Joy smiled back, feeling happy to help. Joy wanted to know more about the man. She asked him his name. "I'm Ben," he replied. Ben told her that he had no family, no home, and he lived on the streets. Joy felt sad for Ben and wanted to help him. She ran back to her house and brought him a sandwich. Ben thanked her and ate it slowly, enjoying every bite. Every day, Joy would meet Ben and bring him food. They would talk and laugh, and Joy began to feel a special connection with him. She never told anyone about her meetings with Ben, not even her parents. It was their little secret, and it made her heart feel warm. One day, it started raining heavily. Joy looked out of her window and saw Ben was sitting under the tree shivering. He had no umbrella or coat. Joy quickly grabbed her raincoat and ran to him. "Come with me," she said. "I have a warm place for you." Ben hesitated, but then agreed. Joy brought Ben to her house. Her parents were surprised to see a beggar in their living room. But Joy explained that he needed a warm place to stay. Her parents were kind people, and they agreed to let Ben stay for a while. Ben was grateful and thanked them from the bottom of his heart. Joy and Ben became good friends. They played games, told stories, and shared meals. Joy felt happier than ever. Ben taught her songs and told her tales of his adventures. Joy felt like she was learning new things every day. She loved spending time with Ben. One day, Ben told Joy that he had once been a rich man. He had lost everything when his business failed. He had no family left and nowhere to go. Joy listened with wide eyes, feeling sad for Ben. She promised to help him to find happiness again. Joy came up with a plan. She decided to ask her father, who was a businessman, to help Ben find a job. Her father agreed to help, but he was unsure if Ben would be able to work. "Ben, do you want to work?" Joy asked. Ben nodded with a smile. "I want to change my life," he said. Ben started working in Joy's father's shop. He was hardworking and kind to everyone. The customers loved him and soon became a favorite at the shop. Joy's father was pleased with Ben's dedication. Maybe there is a hope for him after all, he thought. As Ben started working, people in town began to whisper. They wondered why Joy was helping a beggar. Some were happy for Ben, but others were not. "Why is she helping him?" they asked. But Joy didn't care about the whispers. She knew she was doing the right thing. One day, a wealthy man came to the shop. He looked at Ben carefully and said, "You look familiar." Ben froze, and Joy's heart pounded in her chest. "Do you know him?" she asked. The man nodded. "Yes, he was my friend once, but he disappeared many years ago," the man replied. Ben confessed that he had been hiding from everyone. He had lost all his money and felt ashamed. He didn't want his old friends to see him begging on the streets. Joy held his hand and said, "You don't have to hide anymore, Ben. You are not alone." Joy's kindness inspired the wealthy man to help Ben too. He offered Ben a job at his company. Ben was overwhelmed with gratitude. He thanked Joy for believing in him when no one else did. Joy smiled and said, "That's what best friends are for." Slowly, the people in town began to change their minds about Ben. They saw how hard he worked and how kind he was to everyone. They began to respect him and accept him as one of their own. Ben felt happier than he had in years. One day, Joy heard that someone had stolen money from the shop. People started blaming Ben because he was once a beggar. Joy stood up for him and said Ben would never do that. She believed in her friend with all her heart. After a few days, a real thief was caught, and it wasn't Ben. The town people felt ashamed for doubting him. They apologized to Ben, who forgave them with a smile. Joy was proud of her friend and knew she had made the right choice. One day, Joy's father called her and Ben into his office. He had a big smile on his face. "I have a surprise for you, Ben," he said. "I've decided to make you the manager of my shop." Ben couldn't believe his eyes. He thanked Joy's father with tears in his eyes. The whole town celebrated Benny's new role. They threw a big party with music, dancing, and a lot of food. Joy felt happy to see her friend smile again. "You deserve it, Ben," she said. Ben hugged her and replied, "I couldn't do it without you." Ben and Joy's friendship grew stronger each passing day. They spent their time helping others in town. Ben taught the children how to read, and Joy planted flowers in the park. The town became a happier place because of them. One day, Ben told Joy, "You have the kindest heart I have ever known." Joy blushed and said, "You are my best friend, Ben. I'm so glad I met you." Ben felt his heart swell with joy. He knew that Joy was a special person. Ben decided to use his new role to help more people like him. He started a small shelter for the homeless, where they would find food, warmth, and love. Joy helped him with his new adventure, and they worked side by side every day. One day, a rich traveler came to the shelter and saw the good work Ben and Joy were doing. He was impressed and decided to donate a large sum of money to help them. "This is a gift for your kindness," he said. Joy and Lily were overjoyed. The town decided to support Ben and Joy's shelter. They donated food, clothes, and blankets to those in need. Joy felt happy to see everyone coming together to make their own town a better place. Ben realized he had fallen in love with Joy, but he was scared to tell her, fearing she might not feel the same way. One day, he gathered his courage and said, "Joy, I love you." Joy smiled and replied, "I love you too." Joy and Ben decided to get married. The whole town was invited, and everyone celebrated their love. The wedding was simple but filled with joy and laughter. Ben knew he had found his true love, and Joy knew he had found her true best friend. Joy and Ben lived a happy life together. They continued to run the shelter and help those in need. They knew that love and kindness were the most important things in the world. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching this far. Guys, what I've learned in the story is that kindness is one of the best things that we can do in life. Helping one another, not to backbite, not to laugh, not to gossip, but helping each other as a community, as a family, as as a group of people. Help one another and you will see the goodness in that. We've seen this story. It has been amazing, from being a beggar to a manager, but through helping. So let us be kind to one another. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you've not yet subscribed to this channel, and don't forget the notification bell in that you'll be notified wherever I upload a video. Bye bye, see you in my next video. I love you all. May God bless you.